What it isn't always big life seasons. Well, as I've said before, I'm gonna say it again. I'm gonna repeat myself. I won't be tired of this. I once said to you, clean up your space. I just want to have a conversation with you. Simply put, clean up your spaces. I want to have a conversation with you. Today, we have a person whom I admire the most, and I draw inspiration from him in terms of politics and political consciousness and intellectual wise, because I was on the pastor. This man taught me politics. I was working Gokawash today. So the person introduced me to politics. We used to stay up all night in 2021 before I knew anything about politics. Now I'm matured. I'm matured. You can trace now. You can't do anything. Well, before we shoot off to the basis of the day. Basis of the day. I just want to know. Tell us more about Charles Mashika Ramaphosa.
It's not. I'm not a celebrity, by the way.
Yeah.
This thing's simple. That's my name, my man.
Yes.
You know, when you are born, imagine if we don't having names.
What would be the problem?
That you are here, you know, the worst part we are having these colonial names. You know, what's Charles? What's that?
It's a recent thing.
Yeah.
As I said, yesterday I once said that babies were
My name is Lestate.
colonized.
My name is Lestate, which means light.
Yeah.
Yes, my heart. That's my name.
Charles.
These colonial names of Charles are good.
What is there on your ID?
Yeah, it's there, but
Listen, it's not there.
I was not having authority by that time. I'm going to change that name by the way. Remember, Uncle Tiro changed from Abraham Tiro.
Yeah.
And then he changed to Uncle Ram Tiro.
Yeah.
So I'm also going to do that. I'm going to change to because
So tower comes from where?
A tower is a big building, by the way.
Yeah.
Initially, when I joined politics, under Azani People's Organization, which is now called AZAP.
Yeah.
And then the student wing of AZAP by that time was Azani Student Convention. And then in AZAP, literally when they say you're a tower just simply means that a person which is having
Power, massive influence.
no, it's not having influence, it's the issue of having more political, we used to call them scope alignment. The person who's having more scope alignment. The person who can see political issues from a point of
So it's a child.
Yes. So in AZAP we used to say that each and every member of AZAP is called a town or a member of black consciousness. We used to say think big was a town.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. was a town.
So this thing of force comes from where?
A force is this comrades of Mpama mats.
Yeah.
These ones who used to make the palm, the clear palm, which are from Pan-Africanist Congress of Azali. We call them Mpama mat because they normally do this. Showing clearly that no, there's nothing that they are hiding.
Because in EFF we call each other fighters.
No, in EFF you call each other fighters. No, guerrillas comes from a military base of view. Because remember during apartheid there was this thing of guerrilla fighters. There is a book called by this Brazilian leader who was killed. Well, it's a manual. It's called guerrilla warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are, you know, the PSC believes in this radical change of militarizing the struggle.
Yeah.
So that's why they call it force. Force is also from the military base.
Of which it means soldier.
Yes.
Speaking of change, radical change, we see the EFF is trying to media around doing and maneuver change in radical and political way of then expectation of the conversation. I just want to know, politics of the day, more especially the youth, they are diverting, they are trying to find their own vehicle in terms of not being in a political stand and not being in a political organization with that political parties backing up there. Just want to say we are tired of politics. We want to take these things into our own hand. What's your view about that?
You must remember that the struggle of this country called South Africa is so-called South Africa, because ours
As in,
which
yeah.
simply means the land of black people. So, what is happening is that you must remember that the struggle that the EFF has embarked on was inherited from the black consciousness, from the Pan-Africanists, which also was inherited from the Shaka Zulus, Bambatas, the Skukunis of that time. The question that triggered the struggle of black people in this country and in Africa was always the issue of land. We had our black people, our forefathers have been engaging in these things, starting from the Battle of Isandwala, the Battle of Blood River.
Sure.
Those people by that time, they were fighting for land. That is why when they were asked at some stage, Bulela Atakat, they never questioned who are Atakat by that time. They never questioned, those people, soldiers of Dingan, they never questioned who are Atakat. They just started attacking our Atakat, who are white people by the way. Even today, prior to 1994, before the struggle, even the ANC when it was formed primarily to fight the issue of land. So throughout 1994, we lost a touch. We lost a touch because the treacherous negotiations with the apartheid. You know, my brother, the person cannot take your thing and say after 2 years and say no, we only want your own thing. He said no, let's negotiate. Negotiate what? So that's why we lost it. We went because people were power hungry. The last of Mandela's and the ANC, they wanted to become the first black people to lead this country. They were given political power, but the fact of the matter is that the black people never got their own land. The white people in majority are still having their own farms. Their own farms were, you know, black people now, they are not having land. Go to squatter camps, you won't find a white person there. But
So we're foreigners in our own country.
We are foreigners in our own country, we have nothing to show. In fact, my brother can tell you are dead. We are already dead. In those squatter camps, there's nothing there. There's crime. What triggered crime is the issue of poverty. We got the so-called political power. We sent people to parliament in their majority. In 1994, the ANC got their majority there in parliament. But still they are failing to change policies that can suit the black environment. You know, my brother, when black people, the way they are now, my brother, under the black government, the so-called black government of the ANC, we could have been in paradise. Here on earth. There's no other paradise that we can get. If we are failing to practically show people this is a paradise. You know, white people, we never wanted to drive them to the sea. But the reality of the matter is that the black people, there's a very huge gap between the poor and the rich. So they have and they have not.
The upcoming next election of 2024, do you think the rate will fall down?
You know, the question that we must be asking is whether the voting has on its way assisted black people. Because we have been voting since 1994, but still there's no change. I mean, my brother, if the EFF today is going to next year is going to take over, it won't take the total majority by the look of the eyes. There will be coalition government at national level. Based on the agenda that the EFF is pushing, the EFF might not get anything. The DA might collide with the ANC. The ANC might take president, and the DA might take deputy president. The issue here is that the agenda that the EFF is pushing, the leftist politics, which of course is socialism and communism and so forth, which simply says that there's no necessity for you to own lots of things, you know. So we're ruled by the capitalists here. The ANC is a neo-colonial art that have lost its touch. Because most of the voters is voted by black people who are still suffering, who have been suffering
for years.
So we are having a challenge of that. If the You know, each and every struggle
Yes.
in the world has been triggered by the youth.
So I just want to know, what does this BRICS thing does in our own economy in South Africa? Is it elevating poverty away, or is it just BRICS which we trade?
My brother, we are living with donations as a country. we are beggars.
Yeah.
We are living with donations, and this is the recolonization of our country and our people in another way. We are being brainwashed. These white people, when they come here for businesses. You can tell you, my brother, you all know, they publish these things, but in secret places. They are only mines, these people. We have Anglo-American in the mines. They killed our people in Marikana. Who are the owners there? Who is having shares in these mines? We are told is the president of this country is having shares in these mines. Yes. The whole crew of the ANC, they are having shares in these mines. They are having shares in this and the Oppenheimers of this country. The Rupees of this country. The white monopoly capital. It's not even to call it. It doesn't make sense to call it a white monopoly capital because monopoly capital on its own is white.
Yes.
So there's no necessity to say white monopoly capital and so forth. Monopoly on itself is white. So we must just call it monopoly capital. So they are owning these things, Rupert and everyone. Well, black people, they are not owning anything. We have nothing to show in this so-called democracy, in this so-called black government, to show that indeed you are in charge. We are having load shedding. There's nothing. There's corruption, high level of unemployment, and so forth.
So back to my question. Since we have collided with among BRICS, what is BRICS doing in our country?
No, these people, they are facilitating a recolonization of some sort, of some type. Because these ANC guys who are ruling this country,
yes,
they have been captured, by the way. They've been captured. You must ask yourself now, in terms of BRICS, you must ask yourself, why are they concerned about South Africa? We are partners. What kind of partners are we in these things? What's the purpose of BRICS? They can claim that is the issue of development and so forth and so on. But I can tell you, my brother, is the recolonization of some sort. We are being recolonized again. We are sending this country to the dogs again. One day we'll come over and say, by the way, during COVID-19 we've seen we're taking credits in the world back and so forth. They will come and say, no, my man, we are taking a harm because we are unable to pay your credit.
Yes, because we are owning lots of trillions.
That's what is happening. We are owing for what? Are you saying that South Africa with so much gold, my brother, coal and everything, they can fail to maintain this country? We are led by politicians who want to take money into their pockets and feed their own families. And it's very wrong. My brother, even now, if you don't know anyone in government, you can't work. You can't work. You can't work. We are having a pile of qualification as we speak, but we cannot work.
So let's speak of the terms of graduates in South Africa. They are running around the street, the gowns are expensive, everything is expensive. The graduates do not get job opportunities. Just
but it doesn't start there. The question is, what kind of education are we receiving in this country? Is this kind of education teaching us to be independent enough? This kind of education train us to become more laborers than owners.
Yeah.
You know, now the South Africa is having 11 official languages.
Yes.
Which is, to me, is useless. To have 11 official languages.
Why is it useless?
We are having language practitioners and language developers. It's courses, by the way. You see, we need perhaps when thinking has never elapsed, we must produce language for South Africa alone. This thing of saying this one is a koi, this one is a verb, this one is.
So let's produce one language.
Yeah, but we're practicing languages. What the issue of practicing languages in this country?
Have one language.
Yeah.
So do you push the term of saying we need to have one currency in Africa?
Of course, my brother. You know, there is this thing that is being said and it's been distorted that once you open borders and what.
Yes. Do that one. I want that one.
once you open borders, there will be an influx of.
Yes, because South Africa, I believe, is the one that is on the top or in the top G of Africa. South Africa holds everything. It's the most populated, not most populated, it's the most wealthiest place in Africa. But so for me, they will flood in like bees in South Africa if we open up borders.
That's what I'm thinking.
Mind you, my brother, we have a high rate of unemployment in South Africa.
But you are saying that we are having everything. How possible is that?
Yeah, we have everything, but now the government it seems to decentralize everything that we have. We cannot have. I too. I'm against this thing of saying we have so much that we can offer to the people as government, but we have these high employment rates. I mean, we're number one in the whole world of high employment rates. Yet we want to open up borders for corruption, for corrupt people in Zimbabwe. Look at how the whole past opened.
Let's clarify this thing clearly.
Yes.
When we say we must open borders, we must have $1 African to trade on.
Yes, one bank.
Yes, one bank, the United States of Africa, like the way. You do not just haphazardly open borders. There will be legislations. But my brother, when we are speaking of unemployment now, you can't go and work in Lesotho. You can't go and work in Egypt because of these things of borders that way. By the way, the borders were put by white people.
Yes.
We never had borders. We never had borders. The likes of Shabazz was conquering all over. In fact, even when we came here, we found this land like this. By the way, the problem started when you
had borders.
Even when you had the mentality of a person. The problem when you were born, my brother, when you were born, you just found this land here.
Yes.
It started when you say, no, this is my yard. When you start putting
my
fence.
Yes.
The problem has always been the ownership of natural resources that you got in this natural resources like land. Anything that you got in this earth like that, you have no authority to own it. Now, when people conquered our black people, they start putting borders that no, these people must be restricted, there must be visas, there must be what. And we adopted to that. What will happen now is that when Africa is developed, when Africans, the presidents and the African countries, they are working together like that, they will find a way of saying, no, now, we cancel the issues of visas. As a South African, if you can't find, you are crying about unemployment by the way now.
Yes.
But you can go and work in Tunisia. You see, if we're having $1 African trading with it, you can go and work in Tunisia. So and stop this thing of saying, currently our people are going to Korea, my brother, and it's very sad that if you die in Korea one day, you know when you are dead, you are very expensive.
For me to be brought this side.
Yeah, you'll have to be cremated there, and they come with your ass because it really happens that your family is not having money to bring you home, so we have to cremate you, and you won't have a grave, my brother. So even your grandchildren, they won't know. My brother, you won't know what this was linked. Yeah, you know.
Yes.
You just take your ashes and one day you say borders must be removed. Borders must be removed, but not haphazardly so. They must be removed through
policy,
through cooperation with other African countries. There must be a way that African leaders must work together, regardless of what is happening.
SADC.
It can't be. SADC is very useless. By the way, it's toothless. It's a toothless dog, led by these cities of African leaders that we see at the southern tip of this beautiful continent.
Yes.
You know, there's nothing, my brother. There was a war in Mozambique.
Yes.
Which was sponsored by the way.
By what?
It was sponsored by this white people, this foreign national. You know, where there's oil, my brother, people fight. Why? There's business interest. But this, you must know that this African, where there's turmoil in these African countries, the Europeans are there. The Europeans are the ones who are sponsoring this war. that we must continue to kill each other.
So, what do you think SADC is very useless?
SADC, by the way, it doesn't assist anywhere. In South Africa, in terms of SADC now, when we speak of SADC countries, we can claim, if you claim that South Africa is the one that is maybe perhaps better. But what does South Africa does? We have a problem of Mswati here, just here. Mswati, there is a monarch, that man has made a monarch. He has made power to be a monarch, but he's made a lot of wives unnecessary.
SADC is not doing anything.
It's not doing anything about that. People are being killed in Swaziland as we speak. But SADC is quiet. It's a toothless dog. It's waiting for the Europeans. Perhaps it's waiting for the Europeans to come and say, no, do this, do this, do this. Why should this happen?
So you actually want the likes of Julius Malema to be in SADC? Or
after when Julius has been introduced to AU, we're not speaking speaking of SADC. SADC is nothing. We're speaking of AU, Organization of African Unity.
Yes.
That was formed in Ethiopia in 1960 something. And the first president was Haile Selassie.
And you speak about him go through.
So the man Kwame Nkrumah was the first cream de la cream of African, you know. After that, Muammar Gaddafi, they let this country Thomas Sankara and so forth. You know, currently we are having this members now. Claiming that now we are having this, the ones called the French the West African countries. They are claiming all over of wow now. After the introduction of Julius Malema in that parliament, we've seen changes. We've seen changes there. People have started to understand us.
This is my take in terms of colonization.
Yes.
Because colonization was a project, until we are implementing that project still. If maybe it could happen then, maybe it's as we used to speak that our people were holding hostage or were oppressed for 400 plus years before. If we ourselves can have a project of 200 plus, 500 plus, 600 plus, we can win the fight. We can win over on what belongs to us. Man, we're having this government saying of serving 5 years, they're trying to meet around, trying to know where is the bathroom in government, where is the second year, they're trying to implement policy, the third year, they're preparing for the 5th year so that they can contest. And then the 4th year, they are busy campaigning for the 5th year. Then the 5th year comes, now they're seated trying to send parcels to people, give a parcel to the people, So if only we as Africans can raise up a stand and say, we want our own project as Africans so that we can remove this thing of colonization. We can go far. Not this SADC thing saying we have this, the other SADC was implementing this idea of 28 or 2060. Where will we be there.
You find themselves, they are all those people. Because I used to tell people that when you are becoming old, your mind does no longer function correctly. The SADC that was speaking about is led by old people. Their mind is no longer, when you are becoming old,
yes, your mind is no longer working.
It's no longer working properly. That's why when you can see this country now, they are supporting these young leaders.
Yes.
We can listen to Julius Malema, we can listen to the likes of Nyon, so we can listen to these young ones.
Tantalat.
We can listen to such kind of leaders, you know. But now we are led by old people. Even these white people of the ANC, these black people of the ANC.
Yes, we were right when we say white people of ANC because it was raised publicly that Isma Ashur was removed by the Europeans.
But what was his role in the liberation of black people, if we can ask?
He
stole money of people there in Free State.
Also, Julius Malema stole money in VPS.
No, you can't say that. You can't say that it was proven in court. Julius Malema could have been arrested as we speak. That man is wanted high and low, my brother. Was speaking about the project of Isma Ashur, who was arrested, of stealing money of a project of black people, his own, the people that he claimed that he was leading.
Yes.
When he was pregnant in Free State.
In Free State.
By the way, when you listen to the man speaking, you can see that the man is for himself. The man is not speaking. What kind of project, what kind of liberation leader that in trenches, That's the only thing that we know that was in trenches. But was in trenches doing what?
Nothing.
My brother, the issue here was saying that we are still having black people in Free State, our own black people, who are suffering, who suffered even during the time of H. Magashu. And then who's H. Magashu to come now and say, no, I was removed by the Rupers. Who was working with the Rupers before? Now one is being changed, you want to come to public and say, no, I was changed. We need the money. We need the money of black people. That was the money and the one of asbestos. Our people,
but was the EFF wanting to be there?
We can't say the EFF wanting to be there.
Julius Malema said that they were negotiating.
You know,
group is surprised that people who could fight in FNP.
You know what is happening?
Yes.
In the politics, my brother. A politician is someone who is politically active in a political party and wanting a position in government. Those are politicians. S. Magashu is a politician. But the view that we are coming with here is that this country does no longer need politicians. Perhaps we must agree on that. This country needs revolutionaries. The people who need an upward change, a rapid change of the status quo, of which, from the point of view, even when we are referring to the leaders, the previous who came before us in the black consciousness, Pan-Africanism, and African nationalism, they were fighting for the rapid change. The 1976 youth, they wanted rapid change. They were not politicians.
That's what I said.
They were revolutionaries.
We can have a behind outside of politics. Of saying we as the people can take the stand. Say no.
Perhaps if you are speaking about that, perhaps
start having political parties because the ANC condemned the 1976 trial.
No, they don't condemn it, but they want to claim it, and that thing is
exactly. Don't use small nice way. They are trying to steal the narrative. Yes.
And they've been doing that.
So that's why.
By the way, my brother, we must be honest here.
Yes.
Which is hard. Through this so-called democracy that we are within now, that the narrative, the issue speak about the narrative, they stole the narrative to say that no, we've been fighting in the trenches, colonization, what. And then now, my brother, was still the same. In fact, was worse than the same. You know, it's very hurting to hear a black person like me and you say, this government, the white government of apartheid was better than this one. You know, our people were promised lives by the 1994 project, the Cordes and so forth. And then now today, we're still having black people who are suffering, my brother. We're suffering in now today. Because of, and we did our part as the country. We voted for black government.
Yes, we wanted black government.
We thought that the black government would change the situation. There was no necessity for political parties to be formed now if the government of the ANC was changing the lives of the people to what we were expecting when in 1994 the democratic government was ushered. Even the Mandela, the only thing that Mandela, which kind of project Mandela did he implement? The man was just going around greeting people on the streets.
Yes.
That was we know it about it. That you wanted to know, my brother. The ANC government stole over the negotiation. They closed out the black consciences. They closed out the PAC.
So are you saying the white people were right?
The white people were not even allowed. We are not even supposed to be negotiated with. How to negotiate for your own thing, my brother? We are saying that they cornered the Mandelas of that time. They cornered them and then they said, no, we're not taking the political power, but we're left with economic power. We're left with the land, we're left with everything. We're not just take this political, we just go to parliament because we can see that you want to become the first president of this country, of democratic government. And the man was happy then. And then he said that the constitution was written by Ramaphosa. They are lying, my brother. The constitution was written by white people and Ramaphosa was just drinking tea, was just smoking, Zoli was smoking. You know?
Because fundamentally I believe that the ANC were trying to, because we never been into parliament before 1986. So I believe that we went there just to know the place. We were given lots of money without knowing what to do with it. So we're exposed to a lot of things that we didn't have. More knowledge and more information too. So that's why
You know why we never had information?
Yes.
Because we wanted to continue with the same system of apartheid.
Mm.
These things of parliament, what does it assist us?
No, it doesn't.
My brother, well, the project that we vote for people to go to Cape Town. They went to go to Cape Town, they start doing their own things.
Because the system of parliament was introduced by what people, of which are the open timers.
Yes.
So they are the one who are in the center of politics in South Africa.
Yeah, we agree, me and you, by the way.
Yes.
That, in fact, what should have happened, that so-called parliament was supposed perhaps to be called something else.
Mm-hmm.
That's an apartheid parliament, my brother.
Yes.
We were supposed to come up with a new project, a new way of accountability, a new way of government, total. Not these things of parliaments where people, the 400 people decide the lives of millions of South Africans. And the worst part about it is that we go out and vote for those kind of people. You see them with their tummies right on our streets when the temple elapsed.
Yes, the 50
You see them, the bottom and dashes running on us, promise us heaven and earth. But the real truth of the matter is that after voting for them, they go and they no longer come back. Why have in the government of black people who have RDP, they call it a rural development project, a house of RDP member. It's a mansion, like that. You can see it as a black person who are degraded. You can't stay there.
Yeah.
It's a family of black people. Black people, they're given this thing of having a lot of families.
Yes.
You have this table there. You have this table there, you are having 7 kids. I'm having 10 kids there with my wife. What else?
It's now starting up. Like, it's really starting up like 32.
Yeah, now.
5 minutes more.
Now. We're given a mattress box with 2 rooms. What's that? That's very bad.
Yeah, it's very bad. So what's your take on IFP?
Well, the IFP, the IFP is the IFP grew apartheid in 1993.
Because I heard that they were building, they built a lot of schools.
They are building a lot of. Let us tell you about the IFP. The IFP was used by apartheid government. They were fighting along with the white people during apartheid. In fact, the IFP, you remember they were killed in the Tool House. They wanted to go there and protest. And then they were killed by the ANC. The IFP is not, it's a cultural group, it's not a political group.
Yes, it is a
tribal group. And then Mangosuthu was in ANC league with the likes of Mandela.
Yes.
He ran away that man and went to form his own tribal band. And he's not having just speaking about federalism. Do you know what federalism means?
Well,
it says that no, KZN must become his own authority, must have his own authority. What's that?
He is selling the land in KZN.
Now he's selling the land of black people. What's that? So
the whole king, the whole CC is selling the land.
No, that man, I told you, that man must be stopped. That man, what he's doing? that man, he never grew in KZN.
He never grew. He come from countries afar.
Yeah, I can hear his language in English. He's a coconut. He's a coconut that came and is speaking this. Doesn't know even Zulu, that man.
How can you say the land? The land stop.
That trust land.
Yes, the trust land
must be protected by the people of KZN. I was told that the kingdom of KZN left with Usilo Zeliti.
Yes, I remember the problem.
Now we're having this coconut who's from the KZN. And he wants to become a politician. You can't lose. So, let's leave it. It's up to you, comrades of KZN, to fight it. But I'm sure they will find a way.
So, what's your take? What's your viewpoint on what's your words towards the EFF 10 anniversary?
The EFF has registered progress in these 10 years. This movement, the ANC is now around 100 and something years, but there's no progress. The PACs are around also 100 something. There's no progress in their own organizations. In 10 years, the EFF
it's bad.
we're still patient with it.
Yes.
It's still having 10 years. We're still patient with the EFF. But let me tell you the fact, the reality of the matter. Not as a politician, but as a revolutionary now. The people one day will be tired of voting. They will be tired of also voting for the EFF. Because the more people vote and they do not get their services, you know, we vote the EFF and then after that the EFF does not take power. We are hoping that next year, we do not want the issues of coalitions in government because they cause instabilities. They've caused instabilities in municipalities. We want the EFF to take over with its own majority. And then it speaks about its own changes. We want to see them. Because this thing of having coalition government, they are unstable. You have to go and negotiate power with a person that does not believe in your own political ideology. We have, as a federal, we have to go as a socialist, we have to go to federals. And that's totally unacceptable. Or else we must have the winner takes all. But even if we have 400 seats, the seats of parliament are 400 like that. If in these 400 seats the EFF does not get 201, then we are doomed. We are doomed. We'll still be there. There are people who will continue to vote. That is what I'm saying. If we are going to base our lives on the issues of voting, we are going to have a problem as the country. Because the issue of voting, that the majority rules. There is a book of Muammar Gaddafi, it's called the Green Book. It tells you that majority is not always right. What perpetuates majority? You know, they say when you vote, you must have the reason why you vote. Perhaps you must also have that because people are bored with food assets. They are bored with 350s, they are bored with 10s and so forth.
Yeah.
They will tell you t-shirts, you know, they are not voting out of their conscience. South Africa is the way it is. It's not political conscious. So we need to educate the people. Our people must be political conscious first. We can speak about a lot of things that we need votes. You can see they play music, people become happy, they drink alcohol, they go and vote. A person will even go to a voting station after drinking alcohol.
Yeah.
How do you trust the mind of that kind of a person? So those are kind of the things that we must speak about as a country, and then to say that no, of course the EFF is doing well, the project of the EFF tomorrow are encouraging everyone to go there and see. If we do ourselves, maybe we can go.
Yeah. And
just check what is really the man saying.
Yeah. So in closing, what can you say to the person at your age and younger?
At the age of?
A person, like, what can you say to a person at your age and younger than you? Some inspirational words.
You know, in this country, it has been proven that politics are alive.
Yes.
Politics is alive, my brother. If you are politically not active, you will face lots of challenges in life. You will face lots of challenges in life. What should happen is that young people must start reading political documents. They must know what is happening. They must know about what is happening in international politics. They must know, they must have a view. You know, currently as young as you are, it's boring to have a girlfriend or a boyfriend that doesn't know what's the war of Russia and Ukraine means to the world. What's the issue? Yeah? Yes. You still have a person who doesn't know
anything about those
the war NATO and what's NATO? You know, it's disappointing. You must know those things, what's happening. You must be aware of what the society is. And it starts with you. It starts with you reading each and every document. You can't sleep, as a young person, you can't sleep without reading a political document. What does that mean? Where are you taking your knowledge? You are going to lead us. You are living with common sense. You are living with prayer, Bible book, my brother. You can't, we have been praying, we are tired of praying now.
We want practical things.
We want practical. We have prayed, my brother. We have been praying. People have been robbed through the name of God. We are not available. We don't even believe that God exists. Now what should happen is that people must start acting. We are speaking the reality. We are not always speaking about the issues of praying now. Because when we you know, Jomo Kenyatta used to say, when the they taught us how to pray, but when we wake up, they had the land, we had the Bible. They were busy now with the Bible. That's what life is.
Instead of we find the land.
Currently, we are having a second man of Ukraine who left to USSR, the Soviet Union, to run away from the program was led by Russia. He went to become a comedian.
Yeah, a comedian.
Now after being a comedian, he want to come and lead the country. What kind of a person is that? You want to have the say on the issues of the country.
Yes, these pastors will find the land, then after that we open up churches instead of factories.
No, open churches. People are making churches. My brother,
I used to say that I won't go to church, you know what? Because church people are criminals. They don't pay tax, those people.
Yeah. Even if you poor as you are, my brother, I used to tell you that you used to be an usher.
Yes,
And those rich ones, if coming, who are paying taxes, your work as an usher, then it's just to hold them when they fall.
Yes.
That's what it is. Well, we are being reduced to that in this country.
No, my brother, thank you for.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Shut that again.
No, we'll have him back. This is a man who proved me politically and consciously in terms of revolutionarism, Pan-African socialist and humanitarian. We're still going to have him back. Now I'm grown. I'm matured now in politics. Where remain calm and selective. What it is what will always be. Lives.